Hello and welcome, my very polite leaves. Did I say polite? Yes, because we are reacting to Puppy Polite's my top 5 most nostalgic games of all time. Let's get into that and see if the nostalgia hits for me and you as well. So, diving right in.
Que lo que de lo mío? What's up, people? These are
Yeah, Pokemon already strikes my nostalgia. I was there Gen 1. I started with Red, got Blue, then Yellow, also got Gold, Silver, Crystal. Skipped on Gen 3, but I played Gen 3 since then, not only the remakes, also the original. So, yeah, Pokemon is a huge part of my life. That being said, why not have Sausage Pikachu with us today? Wouldn't that be a cool idea?
my 5.
You can't do
I was
that.
gonna say top 5, and I was thinking about saying top 5, but well, yeah, it is my top 5. It is my top 5 most nostalgic games of all time for me personally. So basically, I thought about, listen, I want to make a video. What should I talk about? I'm gonna talk about the games that I always think about wanting to play.
One thing though, one little tip I could give. The music is a bit too loud in regards to the voice. It's a bit hard to understand you, Puppy. If I may call you Puppy. So, yeah, just as a heads up. I don't know what my top 5 nostalgic games would be. Secret of Mana has to be in there because that got me into RPGs. Pokemon probably has to be in there. I need to put a lot of thought on that. But I'm not like an extreme nostalgic person as well. So, no, let's see.
Play all the time. I'm always thinking about when this happened and that happened and over there and this over here and this happened, and I always think about reliving those moments, you know? And I should say a lot of these are not necessarily from my childhood, but more like these are games that have heavily impacted, like they have had a huge impact in when I played them, that they feel so nostalgic to me, if that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know how else to describe it besides that. These games, these 5 games, were so impactful in my timeline of my life that I will never, ever, ever forget my positive feelings and my, just absolute, just happy moments of playing these games. So, yeah, so let's talk about it. So, let's talk about the first one on the list. I'm going to talk about
Digimon World. I bet it's Digimon World.
Pokemon.
I just stopped at 1 minute and 51 seconds. Okay, that's great. That's great.
Blue Rescue Team. Okay, so
a bit unexpected, honestly.
I first played it. I don't want to say it came out because I don't remember when it came out, but I remember playing it when I was, I think, either I was in middle school or in high school. I don't remember. I think I was in middle school. Maybe I was in high school. I don't remember. But basically, this game.
I think when this game came out, I wasn't even in school anymore. Yeah, I'm way old.
I have so many fond memories of this game, bro. I used to play this game like bonkers. Like just a stupid amount. You know what I'm talking about? I played it so much. So much. That, yeah, dude, I got to a point where I was like trying to complete the Pokédex by recruiting the Pokemans and like grinding bosses to like recruit the bosses,
Gotta say, I do like the Mystery Dungeon series, but I hate the recruiting system. That it's purely based on chance, and I think you cannot even raise that chance in any way. Like, just fighting them over and over, hoping they stand back up. That's a bit shit, honestly. That makes it not fun to collect all the Pokemon.
I unfortunately eventually gave the game away because I was kind of an idiot. Before my 20s, I was kind of an idiot. Yeah. I mean, I'm still kind of an idiot, but like before my 20s, I was pretty stupid. Anyways, so yeah, I gave the game away. Gosh dang it. But whatever. And my freaking DS Lite, my black DS Lite. I loved it so much, but I thought, what? I'm going to give it away because, again, I was stupid. But anyways, so that game was incredible. It was absolutely just, it made such a huge impact on me. I've talked about this before, like even with the manga portion that also came out with it, like made the story even more cool.
Sorry, I can't say much about Mr. N. I did play. I think I never played Blue, but I played the red one. I did play the remakes. I did play other types of those, and I do like them, but I don't personally have any specific feeling towards these Mystery Dungeon games. That's like, they're fine, they're okay. I kind of hate that in the remake you only have 3 Pokemon on your team instead of 4. That's stupid. Because basically you use your starters, the story characters, and can add 1 more. If you have a franchise that gives you over 1,000 monsters and you can only choose 1, basically, it's a bit of a design flaw, I would say. But I think there are better Mystery Dungeon games out there, like Torneko, The Last Hope, for example. But doesn't make these Pokemon games bad or anything. It's just, I play them, I like them, but that's the end of the road for me when it comes to those.
And it just completely took me, like, I just loved it. I loved it. And the thing too, eventually years later, it wasn't until years later until I played the sequel of the game, you know. Well, I guess I did try, I think, Explorers of Darkness, I don't know. But eventually I played Explorers of Sky, and that one was way better. But Blue Rescue Team still remains as, like, you know, one of my games that I will never ever forget. I will always have close to my freaking corazon, you know what I'm saying? So that's one of the games, Blue Rescue Team. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Blue Rescue Team. I should say the full name completely, correctly as well. Okay, let's move on to the next game on the list.
Okay, looking forward to it.
And I'm going to say Dragon Quest IX. So, Dragon Quest IX has...
Yeah, not counting 1 and 2, because I think 1 and 2 are so low-key the beginning of RPG stuff that it is kind of unfair to compare them to every installment after 3. I gotta honestly say 9 is my least favorite. I still loved 9, don't get me wrong. I love the Dragon Quest series, and I would buy a remake in a heartbeat. And it's not a bad game at all, but yeah, I think not having characters that have an actual personality was an experiment that could be done but didn't work out too well. And I do have a solution for that, because except the main character that you are, keep the character creation thing, but be able to give them a personality. Like, when you create a character, you can choose a personality. Pokemon is over, by the way. Choose a personality, and they do say stuff throughout the story, and how they say, like, what they say is the same, but how they say it depends on their personality. That would do the trick. Still a great game, don't get me wrong.
Really just kind of shot up on my list of favorite Dragon Quest games. Also, it's already at number 3 on the list of my top, 11 favorite Dragon Quest games. But, and I've said this so many times before, but if that game got remade,
remake could do so much good.
That would be my favorite game of all time. Yeah, but I love Dragon Quest IX, dude. It's so funny. It's so fun. It's so addicting. The characters, the world is great.
I also really did not like the class system in this. Like 6 and 7 had such a great class system where you kept a lot of skills from other classes, but this just you finished a class, mastered it, and then moved on to the next class, but basically didn't really gain anything from mastering another class. So you could just concentrate on one class that you want to keep, and that's it. And when you have a class system, those classes interacting with each other, I think, is important. And this game didn't really do that. There might be some stat gains you gain and stuff, but stat gains are fine and a good thing, but skills is where it's really at. So yeah, you can have some mixed class stuff going on.
The vocation system's great. The progression of the game is incredible. The graphics are gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. The characters I already talked about, but still, everything is so well done, and I freaking love it. I love it. I love that you can equip whatever you equip, you can see on your character. I love just the variety of all the different things that you can become or do. Or
that's one thing. Also, I'm a bit on the fence. Like, character creation is nice. You can look however you want to look. Being invisible equipment, yes, I can see the appeal, but for me, who likes good written characters, and the character design is part of the personality, and you take that aspect completely away if you have a character creation and visible equipment. Like, Pokemon does that as well, and honestly, I would advocate for Pokemon going back to no character creation at all. Thinking of making a video on that as well. Just because if you see red, that's like, oh wow, that's red. How epic. And imagine a game like where you do that thing that Gold and Silver did. Now you go around and then you look at that. Wait, that character back there. Isn't that Black? Or however he was called. They stopped using the edition names, which is stupid, but yeah. Like the main character from Black and White. And would like be like, oh wow. Now, XY and all other games after that is like, hey, that might or might not be that character because there is no real character design. Also, the main character design we have in artworks and stuff looks so lame ever since we got character creation. It's boring, really. But thinking of Dragon Quest, if you look at Eric, yeah, he looks like a thief. He looks like what he is. If he now would wear generic clothes that the main character also can wear and others, you take away personality from them. And I do not like that. There are games where character creation does make a lot of sense and is good. For example, like Elden Ring or something. There it makes more sense because it's less about that character you play as and stuff. But I think Dragon Quest doesn't need character creation all that much. Looking forward to Dragon Quest 3 though, because that's kind of the same as 9 when it comes to your characters not having personality. But there we also have a difference of writing back in the day for games was much different than it's nowadays. A bit less epic. Don't get me wrong, the game could still be epic, but like it's different. It's hard to describe. It's more of a feeling, and yeah, like on the spot in this reaction here, I cannot like give you a description of what I mean really. I need to think about how to word that, but I hope you get what I mean.
It's just so well done. It's such a perfectly great, although it's not like 100% my favorite vocation system, it's definitely up there. Like class system, vocation system overall. I love it. I really freaking love it. And the game itself is just so great. And I've had so many great memories. I've had so many great memories with the game, bro. I've had so many great memories with this game. And it's a game that I played, it's a newer one that I played. The first time I officially beat the game was like 4 years ago, you know? And then I've replayed it a couple times, but I've also been able to have the opportunity to play it with 3 other friends, and
That's
I
great.
have a bunch of videos of those
played it
adventures
with my
on
wife.
my channel,
That was
which
fun.
were such incredible moments and so much fun. Probably some of my favorite live streaming sessions for sure. But yeah, it was so much fun, man. It's such a great game. It really is. And all of the different things I did besides the game
Can't stop
itself
the clapping.
with it, I think have also obviously kind of increased my opinion on it. So yeah, Dragon Quest IX, fantastic game. That's the number 2 on the list. Let's move on to number 3. Number 3, brother. Bray John, come back for some chicken and rice, bruh. Yo, Bray John, number 3.
Okay.
Oh yeah, number 3 is
Are you okay
Fire
with that?
Emblem Awakening. So number 3 is Fire Emblem Awakening. Oh, Fire Emblem Awakening
Waken
is amazing. It is such a good game.
Definitely not nostalgic for me. I was like 25 or what when I played this. Fire Emblem Awakening is actually great. Yeah, totally. I'm not sure, like, I have a bit of a problem with Fire Emblems nowadays. Problems that Engage kinda fixed. And that is like, I really was not into that whole pairing people up, making children thing. It was like, it kinda was annoying. Just give me a good strategy game and don't do that dating stuff. That's so out of place. Other than that, Awakening had a great story, great characters, and yeah, a really cool plot twist at the end as well. It was a really good game. It kinda might actually be my favorite Fire Emblem, maybe even. Not completely sure about that. Like, I like Fire Emblem, but I'm not like extremely big into the series. I play a new installment when it comes out, sure, but I don't have played all of them in the end. I played this and everything that came after this, as well as Sacred Stones, and I think that's it, yeah. So, but yeah, I can see why you like it. Definitely I can see why you like it. It's a great game.
Okay, I played this game not when it first came out, because I was serving a mission for the Lord, for the Lord Almighty, up on high, in the sky. For 2 years, from 2012 to 2014, I was in Toronto, Canada, spreading the good word of Jesus. But anyways, so after that, because I think this...
Wait, what? Like, huh? Was that for real? Just, do I not understand the joke there? I think something escapes me here. Oh well.
This game came out either 2011, like right before I left, which I didn't end up playing, because I didn't have a 3DS. I think I bought my first 3DS in like 2014 or 2015, something like that. But anyways, yeah, so I played the game a couple years or a little bit later after it released, and I was blown away. So before that, I've played a couple different Fire Emblem games, mostly just the GBA ones, and I loved Fire Emblem. It was a fantastic series and franchise. It was probably my first actual like RPG, turn-based RPG outside of Pokemon, because I grew up with Pokemon and I didn't play anything besides Pokemon RPG wise, at least turn-based RPG wise, until freaking after like in high school. But yeah, my first series I think was Fire Emblem that I tried outside of Pokemon, or at least one of them, or at least the most memorable one. But anyways, so Fire Emblem Awakening was an absolute joy. I loved the franchise already. I thought it was great. I love the weapon system. I love like everything about it. And this story, bro.
Yeah, the story was really good.
Story, bro.
Yeah, I totally agree.
It got me good. It got me so good. It got me to the point where Lucina, I know you can marry her as the player character, but like I didn't want to marry her because I saw her as my daughter, bro. She was my daughter, you know? I played the game almost through the eyes of Crom more than the player character, you know? Although
I totally get you. Like, Chrome was the main character. What the character you played as was like he or she or they were there for that specific twist at the end, but otherwise it wasn't your story. It was Chrome's story. And yeah, it was weird. It's a weird state where it feels like you could cut out that player character completely and it wouldn't change anything. But then again, there is a point where they are important, thus you cannot really cut them out. It's a bit weird.
Although I loved creating my own character and kind of, the character creation wasn't like incredible, but it was good enough that I liked my character. And I've replayed. I've replayed this game so many damn times, man. I'm thinking about replaying it right now. Like I said, this list is just games that I think about playing all the time or replaying, and it's incredible, dude. It's freaking incroyable. C'est très incroyable. C'est très incroyable. Yeah, the story was so good though. It really tugged at my heartstrings, man.
I don't even
and
know
it really
why
made me fall in love with Lucina. Again, not as like a romantic love, but like a daughter love. Like the daughter I will never have, I have two beautiful sons. I love you guys, but your mom and I were hoping for a princess. But it was gonna be the third kid. But
yes, sorry. I love you, my children, but you're just not a character from a game, so go away. No, joking, of course. I am sure he loves his children.
We can't have any more kids. So anyways, let's move on about that. Or at least we shouldn't. But anyways, Lucina, the daughter I never had, bro. The daughter I never had. The daughter I've always wanted. She's just amazing. The story itself is amazing. All the characters are amazing. I love the aspect of getting married and having kids and being able to recruit them. It was so freaking cool, so unique, so awesome. I love the freaking I just love the way that they did this game. This game was incredible, and we all know that that Fire Emblem was basically going to go. This was going to be their last hurrah. Fire Emblem Awakening was their last attempt at trying to make a game. And if it did not perform well, they were going to go bankrupt, basically. That company was going to stop making games. But the game far exceeded their goals, their sales goals, by like a lot. And so basically it was like a rebirth of the series as a whole. Because we know that after that we got multiple games on the 3DS and then the Switch. Even the freaking Fire Emblem Heroes has become incredibly popular on mobile. So yeah, it's been a super, super, super popular franchise. Very, very prominent because of this game. And this game really, I know there was a pretty big division among the fans as well, but I don't care. I loved it. So anyways, Fire Emblem Awakening, so good. So good. Okay. Sorry, guys. So let's move on to the next one. All right, 2 more games on the list. I'm going to first talk about probably the most controversial one, and then a one that probably everyone kind of knew was coming if you've watched me before. But anyways, next game on the list is going to be The Legend of Zelda. Skyward Sword.
I can feel you. Until Breath of the Wild and then Tears of the Kingdom, which is my number one now, came out, this was my favorite Zelda game, actually. I really loved it. The story was great. I loved the gameplay as well. And I don't get why people hated it so much. And saying, like, the motion controls didn't work. They work completely fine for me all throughout the game. I had not one single problem with them, so... Yeah, I think most people did something wrong there. I just don't understand. It's a great game.
What? I know what you're thinking. What?
Yeah, controversial, but I feel you.
Bob?
I feel you, man.
How
I feel
is this
you.
game
I feel you.
so nostalgic to you, but it is. This game, first of all, when this game was coming out, okay, I gotta tell you a story. This game was coming out.
Tell me a story.
I did not pre-order it. We all know it came out with the limited edition, the special golden Skyward Sword limited edition Wii controller, and it was gorgeous, and it came out with a soundtrack. It was a gold CD, and it was gorgeous. Well, I decided not to pre-order the damn game. And my goodness, did I regret it. Because that version of it, at least. I really wanted that version, but I decided not to pre-order it. I was like, I'll just buy it day one. Guess what? It was sold out in mere moments. So I had to...
I thought I had that gold Wiimote in my background here, but...
Until the game was released, literally.
Apparently not.
It was like, I had like a matter of weeks. I don't even know how long it was, but...
I'll put it there once I find it.
Literally searching for that limited edition version everywhere.
Back in the day, that was a bit easier.
It was actually a little bit after it was released, I believe. It was like a couple days after that I finally got a copy. But anyways, I remember it was close to Black Friday because we all know this game released in November. Oh, that's right. It released 11/11, something like that. But anyways, so I was trying to get this game on multiple different times, and it just wasn't available. I wasn't able to get it. It wasn't Black Friday. Anyways, I tried every store, all the Walmarts, all the Best Buys, all like the little game stores, GameStop. Nowhere had a this limited edition version of the game. Nowhere. And I was upset. I tried neighboring cities as well. I could not find a freaking copy of the limited edition. And I was not going to play this game if it was not the limited edition version. So I kept hunting and hunting and hunting. And again, I don't remember exactly if it was a couple days after release or the day of, but I remember there was this one Best Buy.
Sorry to pause your story here, but I'm just gonna say one thing about this game that everybody has to agree on. Once the trailer starts or you start the game, comes up in those places, once the thing happens, you have to get goosebumps. If you don't get goosebumps from the thing, then something is wrong with your brain. What is the thing I mean? The thing I'm talking about is da 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 da. Once that I have goosebumps now. I like that music track. Wow, that's so good and incredible. Moving on.
That me and my buddy, because my buddy was helping me out on this specific day. He was probably my good luck charm now that I think about it. So shout out to Duna. But anyways, we went to a Best Buy far away from the city I lived. Not super far, but anyways, I'm trying to make the story more dramatic. I go in, okay, and I was beaten and
yeah, as someone who's a storyteller, I should say, you can make the most mediocre story way more dramatic and epic by the words you are using, without altering it, by the words you are using as well as how you say them. It's different. Like, for example, let's say, okay, the story is simple. I took my dog out for a walk, and he took a shit and then returned home. If you would go like, I leashed my dog and then opened the door, the light engulfed us. Then we were going the path that would inevitably lead to our goal. But suddenly, stops, sniffs the grass, sits down, and then he produced the waste of his prey he had before. With that relief finally done, we were able to return back home. Basically, I told the same story twice here about a dog taking a shit. But which one sounded more epic and dramatic, right? And I love that about storytelling. That's so great. So, let's move on.
Bruised and just so sad because I tried so hard to find this damn game, this version. I've been everywhere and I couldn't find it. I've called everywhere and no one had it. But I finally walked upon this Best Buy. Okay? And in this Best Buy, there was a man that worked in the electronics section. That's name started with an I. I still don't remember what it was. I don't know if it was Isaac or Yvonne.
Okay, we thought of the same name. Gotta say, I do have a friend that's called that, so that's where I get that from. I'm like, that was good.
Or Evan. It might have been an E. I don't know. His name was something that sounds like...
He was named Idaho.
You know? And I asked him, yes. Sir Isaac, or whatever.
Sir Isaac.
Would you happen to have a limited edition version copy of The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword? And he could see my depression, my sadness. He could see how determined I was and how broken I have become. And he decided to tell me and ask me a question. He asked me. First, he said, no, we do not have that version you speak of. And my eyes went towards the ground.
No!
And I almost wept. Not really. But he then asked me a question. His question was,
yes.
Do you love Zelda?
Yes!
And I looked at him in the eyes.
Yes.
And I thought, how dare you ask me this question? Of course. And then he said, nay, do you love Zelda? And I said, louder and more determined, yes, I do. And he said, okay, this is what we're gonna do. I have a copy of this specific version that I reserved that is being held at GameStop in this location for the next 6 hours.
Oh shit.
The rest of today, if you don't get there before it closes, that copy will be sold to anyone that comes first. But I am going to call them right now and tell them I want to switch my reservation to this young man here. My name, which is Brian. But you can call me Poppy. Because he said I already bought a copy from here. I bought the last one. And so I don't need this reservation anymore. But I will give it to you. Because you are a determined Zelda lover. And I said,
such a G!
God, my goddess, yes, I will accept. And I will do this.
Such a great guy,
okay,
yes.
I'm going to get on the phone now. You better rush down there and get that freaking copy. So I did. I rushed down there. And I got the freaking copy.
Nice.
But I was met with some disturbances.
No.
Because although I got there in record time, thank God the police didn't catch me.
Dude,
The
be
people
careful.
there were like, "Who's this guy? Who do you think you are, dude?" And I still remember there was 2 workers. They were freaking loser. Oh wow, a Tesla Cybertruck. Interesting.
What?
Freaking
Wait, are you filming
loser
this in your
people.
car?
They were trying to
filming,
not give me the
recording.
game because they probably wanted to buy it. And I said, I am the man that Sir Isaac Newton called and said to put his reservation under my name instead. And they're like, wait, what, are you sure? And my buddy was like, how the hell would the guy who reserved this game call you in the last 30 minutes and then some random guy tell you the exact guy's name and then you still not believe that he's the guy that the guy called about?
I would do a Karen at that.
Why are you guys
Get
making
me
this
the
so difficult?
fucking manager.
Eventually they caved to our determination because they could feel the love we had for Zelda. And I was able to buy the game.
What a story.
And I thanked Sir Isaac all the way home that day. And once I got home and I put the disc into the Wii, and I lifted the controller into the sky, I could feel lightning course through my body as I played the game. It was incredible. Anyways,
It is an incredible game.
yeah, that moment was incredibly impactful in my life, obviously, and it was amazing. And so the game itself is also very fun. I've actually beaten it twice on the Wii and when it re-released in the HD version for the Switch. I freaking love Skyward Sword. I know a lot of people talk crap about it, but I love it. Anyways, let's move on to the last
there's
game
much
because
to
I
love
just got
about
home,
it.
so I have to hurry up. Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver. I know that's probably what people saw coming. I've talked about it before. I love this game. It is incredible. It's my favorite Pokemon game.
I have such a hard time loving Gold and Silver. Well, Heart Gold and Soul Silver. The problem is, like, I love the Johto region. It's such a beautiful region. It might be my favorite region. But against that also stands the bad leveling curve and stuff. And also, I didn't like the Suicune stuff because, like, you have a trio and take one out of the trio. That's stupid. That's just stupid. But still great games. I still enjoy them a lot. But then again, Johto is like, the gym leaders barely have any of the new Pokemon as their aces or even any on their team. Like, why isn't Faulkner using a Hoot instead of a Pidgey? And so much, like, you could take these are unpolished gems. They are so great. They just need to be changed in some places and then they would be, like, extremely great. I love them, but I also, there is this barrier for me, and I hate that barrier so much. But it's a good pick still. I totally understand his pick still.
My favorite version. It's got 2 regions, dude. And the freaking Pokemons followed you. It's perfect. The sprites.
I think the Pokemon following you is okay. Once I gotta see it in action, it was like, I am making a game myself, which is a monster taming game, and I specifically decided against following. Especially as that game will be in 3D, and when it comes to 3D, you have another problem. Because either way, well, either the Pokemon follows you by going behind you, but then you would need to clip it out, or else it would get in the way of the camera, especially for bigger Pokemon. Or it runs in front of you where it's like, it feels detached and not really the same. And once you have giant Pokemon, it's full of problems. It's like unsolvable problems even. Yeah, when going into a building, they just go into their Pokeball. That is fine, but yeah, there are so many problems with following Pokemon, honestly. It was kind of nice in Heart Gold Soul Silver, but also I would not miss it. Honestly, I wouldn't miss it.
are perfect. The gameplay was fun. Was it a little slow? Sure. But it was so much fun. The graphics were gorgeous. I didn't care.
Also, there's a special place for me when it comes to Heart Gold, Soul Silver. These were the first Pokemon games I played with my wife. And ever since then, my wife and I always played them together. And that's special. That's very special. It's not like we battle each other or anything, because neither of us is really into competitive, and that's not what we're interested in. But we trade Pokemon here and there, work together to fill the Pokedex up and stuff, and just enjoy the journey. It's nice. Yeah, it's really nice. And thus, it's very special. This specifically is very special for me.
My experiences with it will never, ever, ever leave my heart. And I freaking love Heart Gold and Soul Silver. I played both of them because I had both versions, and I would trade with myself and all that stuff. I had friends I could trade with, but I didn't want to wait for them to trade with or battle. I just battled and traded with myself. Who cares?
Yeah.
So anyways, I loved that game. And for a long time too, I actually purchased every version, both versions of each Pokemon game for literally years. So yeah. But anyways, those are my favorite, most nostalgic games of all time.
Makes just sense.
And I'd love to hear your thoughts on my list. Do you have any of these games on your list, on your top 5 list? Am I crazy? Did you love my stories? I'd love to hear what you think. All right, guys, like and subscribe. Totally join as a member, by the way. Shout out to the PokeKid01 for doing so. In the Ultra Papito tier. I appreciate you, bro. And consider, joining yourself. Thank you, guys.
But yeah. So, as you can see, I liked and I subscribed already. So do that as well, and do that on my channel too. That would be great. And when it comes to the nostalgia bit, none of these games hit my nostalgia because for most of these games I was an adult already. Doesn't tickle my childhood in any way, and like I said, I'm not a very nostalgic person as well. I do like to delve into stuff I was into as a child, of course, but I also like new stuff and everything, so I have a very good balance between those. I do enjoy basically, I think, every game on this list. I played all of them and did enjoy all of them. Definitely. It's a good list. None of that would be on my top 5 list, hence I don't feel nostalgic for any of these, but yeah, was a solid video, so good work there. Now check out the video you see on screen, and we'll see each other next time as well. There will always be a reaction on Thursdays, and a more creative video on Fridays, as well as game reviews on Saturdays and Sundays, until I run out of games to review. Then I gotta see what I do on those. Well, depends on how many keys I get. I am drifting away. So, yeah, until next time. Bye-bye.